Hi, welcome to this short class to create strength and release in the foot muscles. The feet are amazing things. They support us the whole day long, and it's so important to have the proper connection with the earth when we're walking all day. This connection we have with the feet reverberates through our whole body. So if we have weaker feet, this might lead to problems with our knees or with our hips later in life. One of the problems that we do have with the feet is that we wear shoes all the time, and the shoes inhibit the development of a good muscular structure of the foot. So I recommend when you can to go barefoot, to really feel the articulation of the muscles of the feet. And so even when you're underneath a desk or sitting watching TV, you can do some of these small exercises. And the first one is so easy, you don't need anything. All you have to do is spread out your toes, have a nice connection with the earth with the whole foot, and we're going to suck up the floor. That means I'm articulating my toes in a wave-like motion. First the toes come in towards the ball of the foot, and then I'm going to release it back towards the mat. And this would be the same motion you would have, for example, if you want to pick up a pencil, which is also a great exercise for the feet, just picking up things off of the floor, really using the articulation of the muscles. So that's one exercise that you can just do anywhere. And so I'll show you a few exercises now that you can use a TheraBand. And I have two different strengths here. The yellow one is a light strength, and the blue one is a bit stronger. And if you don't have these at home or something similar, I have good news for you. I thought I was just buying one piece of these both, and I ended up buying like 5 meters or something of it. So I can cut you some if you need it. So just let me know. And I can give you actually both strengths if you'd like. But a lot of people have these already. So if you don't have one, just throw me a message. So I'll show you first with the easy one. I'm going to come into a staff pose, the feet facing forward. And so the motion I'll show you without the TheraBand is basically just flexing the foot and then pointing the foot, articulating through all of the muscles. And what might seem like a really easy exercise without the TheraBand is a bit challenging once you add this. So this TheraBand is just going to go over the top of the toes and the ball of the foot. So you want to make sure the toes are all covered by the TheraBand. Then I take this in one hand, and I'm going to flex the foot, and then like I just showed you, articulating throughout the whole foot in a smooth manner to point the toes. And it's not that easy, actually. If you do it really slow, I'm just going to move this up a bit so that all the toes are covered. But really to make a nice slow movement and feeling all the toes going in the same direction requires a bit of concentration on my part. So this is a really great exercise, a really simple one to really give some strength to your foot. Let's just do 3 more on this side. And of course, this is something that you can memorize right away, this exercise, and do as many times as you like. I wouldn't do it too many times because then maybe your foot gets too fatigued. So just make sure that you have a rest in between these exercises. So I'm going to move on to the other foot. I'm doing the same thing. Make sure all the toes are covered, and then flexing and pointing the toes. And of course, if you want more resistance, you would push up, grab further on the band towards your foot, and if you want less resistance, you come further away. Nice, slow movements to really get the accuracy and moving all the toes together into a point, if you can. This is really not easy. Okay, we'll do one more before I show you the next exercise. So the next exercise, I'm going to cross one foot over the other, and the bottom foot is the foot that we're working on. And so the movement is basically a lateral movement this time. I'm going to be moving the foot this way, and then I'm going to be moving it the other way, depending upon how the band is. And this foot is here basically to add more resistance to the band. So the band comes around the bottom foot, exactly how we had it before, so making sure the toes here are covered. And the band comes into one hand. So I'm using the same arm as the leg. Then this foot is going to place a bit more resistance on the band. So I'm just coming like this, putting more resistance on the band. The further you come towards the foot, the more resistance there'll be. So I'll do about a medium. This leg is crossed over the bottom leg, and I'm going to do this movement laterally, just moving the foot from the heel out towards this side. And you'll notice that it's also, the movement is not isolated just in the foot. It's also a bit of the hip moving. So the whole leg is moving. So don't feel like you have to just isolate the foot here. We're also strengthening the hip joint. And so if I take just two more here, I'm going to move then to the other side, meaning I'm going to take this foot now, and I'm going to take the band. It doesn't matter, you can keep it in the same hand or the other hand. And now I'm going to move the foot in the opposite direction. So I'm moving the same foot that I did in the beginning. I'm just moving it now outwards. And this motion is also not just the foot. I'm moving from my whole hip. Strengthening the hip and the foot. So going at your own pace here, I'm just going to take one more before I move to the other side. So here we go. I'm working on my right foot, covering the toes and the ball of the foot. Now I'm going to take this foot over here and then move my right foot out, foot and hip. So I'm basically just doing the same thing I was doing on the other side. And the slower that you go, I was doing a bit automatic, but the slower that you go, the more you're going to really feel and be aware of the movement in the hip, going all the way down the leg to the foot. I'm going to take one more here, and then I'm going to do this crossover movement. My foot comes into the band. I'm going to change sides here, holding the hand. And then I'm going to move my foot, my bottom foot is moving inwards. And again, it's a movement coming from the hip and the foot. Strengthening the adductor muscles. I'm going to just take one more here. And then the last one in the series with the TheraBand will be to place the TheraBand between the toes, the two big toes. I'm going to hold it in both hands like this and just moving the feet outwards. This is also a movement that's initiating in the hips and going through the feet, moving them away from each other. And I don't think my feet are incredibly strong, but I actually feel this movement mostly in my hips when I'm doing it. So if that's what you feel too, you're doing it correctly, it's right. And so let's just do one more. And that's it. In the face yoga video, we're also doing some yin exercises for the feet. At the same time, we're doing the face exercises. So if you want a bit different challenge for the foot, then not only for the face, but also for the feet and the shoulders, then join me for the face yoga video. Okay? I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video.